This video explores how to respond rather than react. It's a commonly requested topic in mindfulness teachings. It delves into the differences between reacting and responding, and the benefits of responding over reacting, and how to cultivate a mindset that's more conducive to mindful responses. Reactions are often instant, unconscious, and emotional, driven by deeply ingrained habits in our brains. These reactions are fueled by the reptilian part of our brain and can lead to feeling out of control, such as when a simple text message might come in and might trigger anger and conflict. However, mindfulness offers an alternative, the ability to choose to respond rather than react. When we respond, we are present in the moment, conscious of our emotions and our thoughts and the stories that support them. We pause before responding, allowing the prefrontal cortex, the more evolved part of our brain, to come online. This creates space for a more balanced and clear response. A mindful response doesn't add more stress in the form of guilt or shame. For example, if we receive that triggering text message, we can choose to put our phone away and wait, giving ourselves time for the emotions to settle before responding. To cultivate a mindset that is more inclined towards mindful responses, we can practice several techniques, such as observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment, connecting with our breath and body, practicing mindfulness in everyday activities, embracing and cultivating self-compassion, and simply exercises that foster awareness. These practices help develop the habit of responding consciously rather than reacting unconsciously. Awareness is the key. It takes us out of autopilot. Research has shown that our minds are often distracted, thinking about something other than what we're currently doing. By cultivating awareness, we can notice what's happening in the present moment without being pushed and pulled around by it. Mindfulness helps us reduce arousal in the moment and recover more quickly afterward. And it allows us to hold events within a larger context and respond with greater clarity. There's a pause in this. It gives us extra time to assess the situation more fully. And this can buffer the effects of any stress reaction. We can interrupt the chain reaction of reactivity at any stage of this process, immediately after the event as the stories are arising, or even after the reaction has already taken place. We can practice techniques such as STOP, which stands for stop, take a breath, observe, and proceed. We can use this to cultivate this mindset. There's a famous quote by Viktor Frankl, which I often use in this to teach this difference. This is how it goes. Between stimulus and response, there's a space. And in that space lies our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and freedom. That's amazing. We can see the stories instead of getting caught up in judgmental and often unreal stories that support these habitual reactions. We can try to objectively observe what's happening, letting go of all these fabricated interpretations. And then we can respond more accurately. Let's take the text message example. We could have elaborate stories about how the person doesn't respect us or wants to control us. But with responding mindfully, we can let all that go. We can come to the breath and the body. It allows us to have a pause and respond with greater clarity. It allows us to be aware of the emotions, the thoughts, so that we can kind of ride the waves of the impulses and emotions that arise. Meditation is one way to cultivate awareness in the present moment. We can do this sitting, walking, or anytime really. And forgiving ourselves is another important aspect to this. It's important that this is a process and not something we can just do perfectly every time. It's human to forget and act out of our old habit patterns. After all, it took decades to form these habit patterns, and they're actually wired into our brains. We need to be compassionate with ourselves and forgive ourselves when we make mistakes or we react instead of responding. It's a process that takes time and energy to develop these new habits and to rewire our brains. Treat yourself with some compassion and understanding, such that you would offer a dear friend. Another practical thing that we can do is practice mindfulness in our everyday activities. Mindfulness practice is not limited to meditation. We can bring mindfulness into any activity, such as eating, walking, talking to someone. We're paying attention to the present moment without judgment during every moment of our day. The other thing we can do is cultivate a growth mindset. We can embrace the idea that you can grow and change. Recognize that you have the power to choose how you respond to situations and that you can develop new ways of responding that align with your values and to promoting well-being. We can embrace these opportunities for growth that come from practicing mindfulness. The other thing we can do is practice self-awareness by paying attention, just simply paying attention to our thoughts and emotions, reactions without judgments, noticing patterns and habits that may be triggering reactive responses. So cultivating self-awareness through reflection or journaling or seeking feedback from trusted friends or mentors is very helpful. Really, self-awareness is the foundation for this conscious responding. I hope you found this talk helpful, and if you did, please subscribe and hit the like button. See you soon.